This is the Project Management Podcast. We bring project management topics to beginners and experts. Find us on the web at www.thepmpodcast.com or send your emails to pmpodcast@gmail.com.
Hello and welcome to episode number 129. I am Cornelius Fichtner. This is the Project Management Podcast for the 8th of October 2009. Nice to have you with us. And if you happen to listen to this on the 8th of October 2009, then there is a big chance that I am currently sitting in business class on Swiss Airline heading for Zurich Airport. Well, back to the show here. Project portfolio management describes a methodical approach for analyzing and collectively managing a group of current or proposed projects based on numerous key characteristics. And yes, you heard me say this exact sentence in the opening about 2 weeks ago as I introduced the interview with Rick Moreau from CompuWare. The reason why I'm repeating this sentence at the opening for this episode is because you are now going to hear from 8 companies who were exhibitors at the Gartner Project Portfolio Management and IT Summit. I attended that summit in Florida about a month ago. The original plan there was that I would have a short interview with every single one of the solution providers there in the exhibition hall, but unfortunately, in the end, only 7 solution providers and 1 media company had a representative who did find the time to sit down and talk to me. They are Adaptive, AtTask, CompuWare, Power Steering Software, Portfolio Decisionware, Ganted, CA, and PlanView. The order in which you will hear these interviews, just in a moment, is completely at random. I got a business card from each of my interview guests. I tossed them into a hat. Actually, I tossed them into a copper bucket, to tell you the truth. And then I pulled them out one by one. And the way that the business cards came back out of that bucket, well, that's the order in which you will hear them. Also, if you are looking for a high-level comparison table of many of the project management tools that are currently on the market, and not just the ones that you're going to hear, then please stop by and look for episode 129 at thepmpodcast.com. You'll find a link to that comparison table in the helpful resources link, and you'll see that underneath the show notes. Before we get into this parade of PPM tools, I wanted to remind you of that one small favor I asked for in the last few episodes. It's a really simple one. Please tell just one person today that you listen and that you enjoy the Project Management Podcast, because your endorsement of the program and your recommendation to just one colleague would mean a lot to me. Also, it's okay if you would like to put a link to the Project Management Podcast's website onto your website. I sometimes receive emails from listeners who ask if it is okay to put a link from their website, their blog, their university website, their company website, etc. to the Project Management Podcast's website. Of course it is. There is no need to ask for permission. You may even display our logo on your site if you would like. Thank you very much. And now, enjoy the parade of project portfolio management tools. And there is one online community for project managers in there as well.
Hi, this is Tim Lowe. I'm Vice President of Marketing at Adaptive.
Hey Tim, pleasure to meet you. What does Adaptive do? How does it help its customers?
So Adaptive is a software as a service provider, which means that with our software, you're just accessing all of the capabilities for project portfolio management and team collaboration in an internet browser. Nothing to install, nothing to maintain. That's all part of the service from Adaptive.
Right, so it's an SaaS?
Yes,
software as
SaaS,
a service, right?
software as a service, and on demand all mean the same thing.
Okay. Okay. Who is your core customer base? Who uses your tool mostly?
Our customers really represent a number of different slices of industry. We've got a fairly significant customer base in financial services, healthcare, also public sector entities, municipalities, but really our customers run across industry segments. They tend to be either departments of very large organizations or sort of mid-market organizations between about 50 million and 2 billion in revenue.
Mm-hmm. There are about 15 or 20 or so other vendors here. What is your distinguishing feature? How is Daptive different than the others?
So Daptive has been in business for 12 years, and we've always been a
Really?
software as a service
idea.
provider. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I think one of the things that makes us different is the fact that we have a track record. We have more than 800 customers. The other thing that I would mention is that all of our project management and portfolio management and resource management capabilities actually come along with an integrated set of collaboration tools. So document management and storage and threaded discussions and all those collaborative things we deliver as part of the same service. The last thing that makes us a little bit different is that we're a very flexible solution. So the software is designed to be highly configurable to meet the needs of your business process, because even if these processes are sort of the same, they're always different, a little bit different in your organization. And Daptive is designed to make it easier for you to, map to your business process.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
It's my
Thanks
pleasure.
for stopping by and telling our listeners what Daptive is all about.
Thank you, Cornelius.
My name is Scott Johnson. I'm the CEO of AtTask Inc. The URL is www.attask.com. That's ATTASK.
Hey, Scott. Good to have you on the program. Thanks for stopping by. So, your software, your PPM software, is called AtTask. What does it do? How does it help the organizations out there?
Very good. AtTask is a web-based PPM solution that focuses knowledge workers on the activities that provide them and their company with the most efficiency and value add to the organization. What that really means is that we're focused on helping the workers understand what they're supposed to be doing as it pertains to company strategy and initiatives that have been defined from upper levels in the organization and have come all the way down through execution layers with project managers and finally collaboration with end users.
Who is your main customer base? Who uses AtTask?
We have about 1,100 customers in 61 countries. Those companies range in size all the way from small business to large enterprises. For us, really, the sweet spot is mid-size to enterprise organizations. But if you look at it, any company wanting to answer the question of what's going on, what's it going to cost me, who's working on it, how much can I do, how much more can we do as an organization, these are companies that need a piece of software like AtTask.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned it was web-based, so to me means that's an SaaS, software as a service, right?
Correct.
Right. So there are many other vendors here in the showcase that have software as a service. How do you then differentiate yourself against your competition here?
There are really a couple ways to look at PPM software. If you look at the traditional enterprise players that bring software and install it in your organization, they're very, very complex applications. You've got to be very committed as an organization to purchase and implement those. And implementation cycles tend to be long. And as an organization, they tend to be complex enough in the tools that it's somewhat difficult to get buy-off from the entire workforce. The flip side of that is there are many organizations that have lightweight PPM or limited PPM functionality, and we're really right in the middle there. It's AtTask is a full-featured PPM solution. It's going to give the professional PMO all of the features and tools that they need, but it's going to deliver it in a way that's usable and understandable so that when you roll it out to the workforce, they buy off on it, they use it, and they start to give you as a PMO and as an executive good data back up into the organization. And so what we've really done to focus on that or differentiate ourselves is to focus on usability of the software, flexibility of the software so that it can accommodate organizations without too much retooling, and a presentation to the end user that simplifies to the point that they can understand while still providing powerful tools on the back end.
Excellent. Scott, thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Great. Well, thank you, Cornelius. It was my pleasure to be here.
Hi, my name's Greg Davidson. I'm the product manager for the ChangePoint product within the CompuWare organization.
Hey, Greg. Welcome to the program. So the product is called CompuWare ChangePoint.
Correct.
It's a PPM software. What does it help me do?
The ChangePoint application, the software helps you manage day-to-day business for the IT organization, effectively allowing the organization to manage all of their necessary demand, projects, and other types of demand that come into the business, all within one single web-based interface.
Right. I've recently done an interview with your Rick Moreau, and he told me that you are continuously improving it as well, right?
Yep, absolutely. Our product management organization is currently in what I'll call an agile type mode.
That's what we talked about.
Yep,
yes,
absolutely. And what we're trying to achieve is to provide deliverables to our customers that are effective and provide value. We currently have in works a Service Pack 2 for our most current release, which will address some what we'll call key usability issues that our customers are facing and that we feel will help them in their adoption and retention of the solution.
Mm-hmm. Who is your customer base? Are you specifically strong in one industry, or how do you see that?
We're not strong necessarily in one industry. We cross multiple industries.
Okay.
We certainly have a footprint in healthcare, in automotive, pharmaceuticals is a good example, education.
Mm-hmm.
So there isn't one particular industry that we focus on. It is really, the focus is any organization that has an IT department or IT organization that has business challenges that they need their executive, their CIOs, to be able to represent the business a little bit better.
Yeah. Is it software as a service, or is it installed locally on my server?
With the ChangePoint solution, there are both options.
Oh, there are both options available. Okay.
What we term it as is it could be a lease and we host for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the pure SaaS model, as well as you can buy the software and we can host it for you, or you can buy and take it in-house and host it yourself.
Right.
So there are really
various options there.
Yep, three options.
Excellent. If we look around here, 15, 20 vendors, what makes ChangePoint different?
That's a very good question. Certainly within Gartner, they would say that most of us are within the Leaders Quadrant have relatively the same functionality. I think what differentiates CompuWare and ChangePoint, probably a couple of things. Ease of use and configurability. We're probably the most configurable system. Less maintenance, less effort, really, to add new functionality to the system. So if the user needs to add profile information or has key business metrics that they need to capture within the system, that's something that can be easily done. They don't have to come back to the vendor. They don't have to pay a third-party consultant to do that. The other differentiator, I would say, is around our services. Certainly our people are very knowledgeable, very friendly, and really want to work with you as the customer to make sure that we can make this solution work for you.
All right, Greg, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
My name is Linda Duchin, and I run marketing for Power Steering Software. We are a project and portfolio management software provider, and we're online at www.powersteeringsoftware.com. Our software is used by all types of organizations across industries, whether it be throughout the Department of Defense, by all of the branches of the military, including the Navy, the Army, the Air Force, the Marines, you name it, as well as in the financial services industry, in pharmaceuticals, in manufacturers. And we tend to sell our product to large enterprises who really tend to struggle with, are they doing the right projects in their portfolio? Is their portfolio invested in the right types of activities? Are they able to rationalize the projects and make sure that the projects are resourced in accordance with the strategy of the organization?
Would that be one of the features that your customers like most, for instance?
We feel that the best portfolio value really comes in starting at the top by making sure that the portfolio consists of the right projects to begin with. So by right projects, I mean projects that align with the strategies of the organization, that are a priority for the organization, and that are going to deliver value to the organization in terms of either cost savings or incremental sales or incremental revenue to the organization.
And if I saw it right, it's a software as a service, right?
That's right.
Okay, so nothing has to be set up at the customer. You just log on and
that's correct.
sign
All
up.
you need to do is have a web browser and access power steering via the web. It's always accessible, and what the nice thing about software as a service is that it doesn't require any type of IT resources to upgrade it or maintain it or support it. It's all done by power steering, which tends to really lower the cost of ownership and really improve the adoption of the product.
Right. Now, there are a number of SaaS provider, out there. I've seen 4 or 5 already. So what makes you different? How does power steering help its customers better than the others do?
Right. Well, one of the differences is that unlike some of the providers that are pretty much niche within a particular function, they're built to be used in IT, or they're just for new product development. Power steering can manage any portfolio regardless of what the initiative is. So whether it's IT or whether it's in a PMO or whether it's cost savings or process improvement, it's versatile enough and configurable enough that it can really be used anywhere in the organization to manage any type of project or application for that matter. So that, and then coupled with the fact that it's very easy to use and very easy to configure, we feel that those are advantages that really drive adoption of the product.
Okay. Last question for you, just to make it clear to everybody, even though it's called power steering, it can be used in industries other than automotive, right?
That's correct, and I'm glad you asked about that. Yes, it's not an automotive product. It is really a horizontal application. We have banks, we have hospitals, we have pharmaceuticals, as I mentioned before, the
Right.
government. We have companies in life sciences. So it really does run the gamut of any type of
Did it originate
industry.
in automotive?
No, that's really just more of a branding. No,
okay.
It originated in more of the Six Sigma and process improvement.
Okay, perfect. Linda, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you
I appreciate
for inviting
it.
me.
Hello, my name is Phil Wolf. I'm a vice president with Portfolio Decisionware, also known as PDware. We are a software manufacturer of, PPM software, but really the bigger category is portfolio management software. And PDware is an interesting product because I think it has its roots in the resource planning end of portfolio management. The application is targeted toward any organization with 100, 200 people or so or larger who are dealing with mapping people against projects and figuring out what they can achieve based on the size of their staff and the skill sets that they have, and then how to properly allocate the people that they have back against the portfolio of projects. And this is a never-ending quest by these organizations. It's a dynamic movement in the portfolio. There's always change going on the staff side and on the priority side, and continuing to map those people against the projects is something that happens every week, every month, and every quarter.
Mm-hmm. You said that it's a PPM software, but mostly portfolio. So is the portfolio functionality then the core functionality where you would say, this is what we do best?
Absolutely. We definitely focus on portfolio management, and a lot of times when you think about portfolio management, it breaks into 3 areas: selection, and selection also means valuation, and then you have the operational piece, which amongst other things really focuses on the resource planning. That's the big thing that happens during the operations. There's a never-ending cycle of statusing and replanning, and then also on the resource planning side, setting up a schedule, allocating people against that schedule, and then continuing to update things as the projects progress and the portfolio progresses.
Yeah.
And then there's the execution side, which is actually managing the details. And so that middle section there, the operations piece, is really where PDware has its strength and its roots.
Is there any particular feature that you would say, hey, this is what our customers really like about our product? This is where we really differentiate ourselves against all the other people who are here at the Gartner Summit?
Well, traditionally, a lot of the PPM products that have their roots in project management really give lip service to the whole resource planning side of things. And by resource planning, we talk about demand management, capacity planning, and then mapping actuals against that forecast and against the supply side. And so PDware goes much deeper and much wider in the resource planning area than many of the other PPM systems. And in fact, most of our clients have other software in-house. It could be Microsoft, it could be one of the other big vendors, and they still bring us in, and sometimes we integrate, and sometimes we act on our own, but we're there to supplement on the resource planning side.
All right, final question for you. What's the website? Where can people find you?
People can find us at www.pdware.com. That's pdware.com.
Perfect, Phil. Thanks for your time.
Hi, my name is Cameron McGahey. I am the senior editor with Ganthead.com. I've been with them about 9 years now.
All right. Hello, Cameron. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
So tell me, what is Ganthead?
Ganthead is the largest community for online IT project managers. We've been around for over a decade, and we're kind of the place to go for everything that you need. We kind of fashion ourselves as an online community. We have articles, we have templates, deliverables, project plans, community forums, pretty much everything that you could need for making your job easier, which is kind of what we're designed to do. We want to take some of the workload off of you and put you in touch with other people who can help you.
And when you say largest, how large?
We are at present 430,000 registered members, and that grows daily. And that's almost doubled since the time that I've been there. It's pretty amazing considering the .com boom and bust that we're still here and we're still growing. And we're aiming for 500,000 hopefully before too long.
Right. So why should an IT project manager then sign up for your website? You've given us a few ideas here with the templates and all of that, but are there any other benefits?
Well, I would say to that, why shouldn't they? I think one of the misconceptions I hear from people at shows is, they know that we have content that you have to pay for. What they might not realize is that that's a very small amount of content, and just by registering, they get so much for free. And so I would say
the basic account is free?
The basic account is free. You just have to go to the site, give us your email, answer a few questions, and you're good to go. And that gives you all the articles that we have, we put up every week, downloads that we put up every week, access to our discussion forums, which puts you in touch with hundreds of thousands of people who have had similar problems that they can help you with. You can give advice to other people. We very much encourage users to input. We want their content. We want them to write for us. We want them to help people answer questions. About a year ago, we added a social networking component called GANFace,
so
similar
Facebook?
to right, similar to the Facebook concept, and that's just done so well for us. We encourage people to put pictures up so we can kind of put faces to names and to ideas, and that's done so well. And I think that's one of the reasons we've still been growing in this past year, that people have been even more interested than they have before to come get help.
All right. So what are then some of the current topics that are being written about or discussed on the site?
Well, we've always had departments, the ones you would probably guess. Portfolio management and PMO are some of the most popular ones. Business intelligence, we have a web services department, we have a general project management department that I also wanted to point out that while we are focused to IT project managers, a lot of the content that we have is still helpful to people, even if you aren't in IT. So I would still encourage non-IT people to check us out as well. About, I want to say maybe 3 years ago, we also started adding monthly topics. We wanted to hit some areas that maybe got lost in the departments, that were sort of a little more targeted, and we thought that maybe that was being missed out. So while we still have all those departments that gets content added every week, every month, we added monthly topics like governance, like ITIL. Next year coming up, we have requirements management, application lifecycle management and web services, This year we did green PM as well, which is kind of new and hot.
IT focused there?
Correct. So we've tried to add different things, and I think that's also done well for us because people still get the department content on the front page, but now they notice new things as well that maybe got lost a little bit before. So we're very excited, and I think next year we've got a great lineup, and I think it's going to do well for us.
Great, excellent. So all of that free at ganthead.com.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for stopping by, Cameron.
Thank you, Cornelius.
Well, hello, this is Carl Landers from CA. I'm the Vice President of Product Marketing for our PPM business, and that includes our flagship PPM product, CA Clarity PPM. And your listeners can learn more information about it at myclarity.com.
Excellent. That's a very easy to remember URL, Carl.
Everyone wants clarity, so that we give it to them.
Absolutely. So your PPM software is called CA Clarity PPM.
Correct.
What does it help my organization do?
Well, it's a classic PPM application in the sense it does the core project management, resource management, portfolio management, demand management, process management, the core functions that you'll find in any PPM solution today. It goes a bit further, though, because we have specific versions for specific solution areas. For example, here at the conference, we're talking a lot about IT and IT governance. There's an IT governance flavor of Clarity. It includes asset, application, and service management capabilities that would be of interest to IT organizations.
Right.
There's also a new product development version of Clarity. Now the features are more around product portfolio planning, road mapping, things that would be of interest to product development organizations. So there are a couple of different versions for different solution areas.
Okay. Who's your core customer base then? Or are you in many industries, which is why you have these various versions?
Well, we're in a number of industries and solution areas. Basically anywhere where you have people managing project work and you have a portfolio of things you need to make decisions about, Clarity is an appropriate solution. So I would say that the majority of our customers are using it in IT, and CA, after all, is really an IT management company, so that's natural. But we've been in this business for more than 20 years. We've grown up a number of different solution areas. I mentioned new product development as one. Another that's quite interesting and popular right now is around managing grants. There's a lot of stimulus money being handed out. How do we decide who gets it? How do we track it? It's a lot of project-based work. There are people involved. There's demand. There's a portfolio. So that's another example. Another would be professional services organizations. They do project-based work that's billed to the client. They need to track people, track the work, decide what they're going to invest in. So a number of applications of the same core PPM technology.
Okay. When I look around us here, the room is starting to fill up in the background. Other vendors are coming in. There are about 15 of them here, maybe even more. What makes you different? What are the really differentiating features of CA Clarity PPM?
It's a great question because they can all look very similar at first glance. So we really say there are four key things that differentiate us, make CA different. The first is the flexibility of the application. That's really two things. One, we offer it as a traditional licensed application that you install and run yourself. We also offer it as a software as a service. So we have an on-demand business, and about 25 to 30% of our customers subscribe as a service. The other part of flexibility is the ease of configuring the application to match your business process, as opposed to forcing your business process to fit the software. So we're very proud of the flexibility. The second is the completeness. So that's the rich functionality. I mentioned IT governance, new product development, professional services. These all have specific functionality, best practices, methodologies. For example, the PMBOK methodology, Prince2, built into the application. So you're not starting with a blank piece of paper when you start with Clarity. But the flip side of that, and it's the third differentiator, is the ease of use, because with all of that completeness can come complexity.
Obviously, yes.
So we offer something called the Clarity Essentials, which is a simple starting point that gives less mature organizations a way to get going in 5 days. On demand, simple configuration, and you're up and running with projects, resources, portfolio, and demand management.
And number 4?
The fourth one is the proven nature, both of CA
Yes.
as a obviously a financially strong, important company in the software business, and of our product. We've been a leader in the Gartner Magic Quadrant all 8 years that it's been published. Every analyst rates this product as a leading product.
So you're in the top right quadrant.
Exactly.
All right.
And there's a very vibrant customer community. I like to say that this conference that we're at here at the Gartner PPM Summit, we've got about 400, 450 attendees. I call it the second largest PPM conference that's ever been held. The first was last November at CA World, our annual user conference. We had more than 500 Clarity customers there learning how they could get better use out of the software.
Out of the product.
So it's that vibrant customer community, our long-term commitment to this market. That's the fourth proven differentiator.
Excellent. Carl, thank you very much for coming on the program.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
My name is Kurt Weisenberger, and I'm with PlanView. I am in charge of demand generation for North America at PlanView, and I'm very happy to speak with you today.
Thank you, Kurt. Welcome to the program. So, your PPM software is called PlanView Enterprise. How does it help your customers?
Sure. Well, PlanView Enterprise helps our customers balance their strategy against their two most valuable resources, their people and their money.
Okay. All right. And who are your main customers? Who's your customer base?
Main customers are enterprise IT organizations and product development organizations. Usually they're large enterprises at virtually every industry around the world: healthcare, financial services, retail, you name it. PlanView's in virtually every industry, and government sector as well.
Okay, so you told me that it helps me manage my two most important resources, money and people.
Correct.
How?
It gives you one visibility into all of your resources available to meet demand. So if you have 100 projects in your IT organization and you have all that demand coming in, well, how are you going to meet that capacity? And so what PlanView does is make sure you have all of the right resources, so you have the right people working on the right projects at the right time, so you can meet the need of the business and drive the business forward.
Okay. There are a number of other vendors here who have told me very similar things. So what
Sure.
makes PlanView special?
Sure.
What are the features you're really proud of?
Well, besides the features itself, PlanView is very unique in the marketplace. We've been doing this for 20 years. We're the independent leader in portfolio management, so that sets us apart right there. We also have one data model for our products, so everything you get, you don't have to buy a whole lots of different servers and hardware. It's all one data model, so you get the entire comprehensive PlanView Enterprise platform, everything from top-level strategic planning, top-down strategic planning, to bottom-up execution. And a lot of other software providers in the space just simply do not offer that model. Something else that makes PlanView different is our unmatched capabilities in resource and capacity planning. That's something that Gartner Research, in fact, points out in their Gartner Magic Quadrant for IT PPM, that PlanView has unparalleled resource management capabilities. Something else that makes us different is, doesn't matter how good of a portfolio management system you have, if you don't have the tools to get the data out of it to make decisions, then you're only getting half of the problem solved. So we offer PlanView Enterprise Insight Analytics to get that data out of your system across the enterprise with Outlook, SharePoint, to almost any desktop you need to in your organization, to make sure you are balancing your strategy with people and money and doing it in a very quick and efficient manner.
All right, great. Kurt, thank you very much for coming on and talking to us about PlanView Enterprise. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And that was the parade of the PPM solutions and the one online community for project managers whom I had the opportunity to speak to at the Gartner PPM and IT Summit in Florida. That's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. At this point, let me remind you of that one small request I had for you earlier. Please go ahead and tell just one person today about how much you enjoy the Project Management Podcast. Thank you. As always, you can find us on the web at thepmpodcast.com. If you are a project manager and you would like to become PMP certified, then the easiest way to do so is with PM Prepcast, our sister podcast. Here you can study for the exam by watching over 38 hours of video training. Go check it out at pmprepcast.com. If you are already a PMP, then stop by at pmlectures.com. Here we go beyond just giving you PDUs. We give you exclusive training from the brightest minds in project management today. Please send your emails to pmpodcast@gmail.com, and yes, please tell me where in the world you are writing from. And finally, we have this. Every successful project requires 3 men or women: a dreamer, a businessman, and an SOB. Until next time.